Good afternoon, I'm Sean Yao, and this is One News Now. Justice Secretary Boying Remulla met with the families of missing cockfighters today. Remulla said the families wish to have a dialogue with the government on the status of the cases. Recall that dozens of cockfight enthusiasts were reported missing in Cavite and other areas. At least 11 police officers are facing kidnapping charges in connection to the disappearances. Remulla assured the families of the victims that they are working hard on the case. More unclaimed bodies of inmates were finally buried at the new Bilibid Prison Cemetery earlier today. Ian Suyu with the details.
70 unclaimed remains of persons deprived of liberty were finally buried at the new Bilibid Prison Cemetery earlier today. This is the third batch of cadavers to be buried out of over 170 bodies that were discovered at a funeral home in November. According to the new Bilibid Prison, most of the PDLs died of natural causes. Only around 50 bodies underwent autopsy since the other cadavers have already dried up.
Relatives were informed. Yun nga po, kaya lang unclaimed na talaga sila. Hindi na po nagpunta yung relatives, or there were some relatives who came but only to take their death certificate.
Only 42 PDLs are yet to be buried. 8 of those will undergo autopsy, which will be led by forensic pathologist Raquel Fortun. These include PDLs with unexplained causes of deaths. Their families will be given 90 days to claim the remains of their relatives.
The MBI chose the body. They did not require autopsy for the bodies that were already autopsied. They have to choose the body that are still possible to be autopsied.
Bilibid officials are now hoping to have additional medical staff so they can prevent more deaths inside the jail facility.
Presently, nationwide, less than 300 nurses. We cannot achieve the ideal number of, it should have been 1:40 nurses. But now we are on 1:250 to 300 PDL per nurse.
For News 5, Ian Suyu, we are One News.
The Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, or BFAR, has temporarily postponed its ban on the sale of imported salmon and pampano in wet markets. The BFAR said it took into consideration the recommendations of fisheries, stakeholders, and some lawmakers. Recall that the BFAR was supposed to confiscate imported fish being sold in markets starting of December 4. This is part of the agency's implementation of Fisheries Administrative Order 195, which allows for the sale of imported fish only for industrial users like hotels, restaurants, and canneries. We will be back with more stories after this quick break. Keep it here on One News. watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Some farmers in Camarines Norte have resorted to panning for gold, with the prices of fertilizer and seeds on the rise. Shaila Francisco with that story.
55-year-old Dennis, a farmer, starts his day in Paracale, Camarines Norte as early as 6 a.m. After a quick breakfast, he walks to the farmland to prepare for farming. But as it turns out, he is harvesting something else other than palay. Gold.
Imbis na palay muna yung anihin, ginto muna ang inaani namin. Para kami makaraos. Kisa naman sa tulad, wala pang binhi. Mahal pa. Tapos wala kaming gawa, di lalo kaming tingga.
Locals call this labadero or gold panning, a process in which gold is extracted manually. It is considered one of the simplest ways to mine gold. This is traditionally done in Paracale since the town is known for having gold deposits. Farmers receive their salaries daily for this.
Kikita kaya tayo ng malaki-laki naman ngayon. Araw kaya tayo dito ng 350, 400.
But there is no telling how much they would receive.
Instead of carabaos and tractors here, they rely on themselves the whole day just to get even a pinch of gold. But just how hard is it compared to farming? Come on, let's find out.
They first dig the land up to get soil that possibly has gold deposits. These lands are then soaked in water to loosen the sand and separate it from stones. After that, it will be sifted before dusting through what they call a pabirik to extract the gold.
Kasi ba yung ginagawa nyo kumpara dun sa ibang mga pagmimina at mga paglilipat?
Kasi po, sa mababaw, wala naman kami ginagamit na chemical.
Eh paano ito? Magagamit pa ba yung lupa?
Ay, ito pong ano namin, yung halimbawa yung buhangin, binabalik din po namin sa...
After the whole process, they will then cook it. After this, they will bring it to the buyer to weigh the gold.
Medyo mas malaki ngayon ng kaunti.
After a whole day's work, they made 3,840 pesos, which will be divided among themselves. Dennis got 548 pesos. It's bigger compared to previous days. But he says it is still not enough, especially for those with kids going to school. But do they prefer gold panning over farming?
Ay, nambiron po ang magsaka.
Kasi po,
Ay, una-una nakakapagpahinga nga po kami pag may palay na.
dito, eh sige, pakikwento lang po. Bakit po?
Tatapatin ko lang kayo, ma'am.
Opo.
Hindi po ako nakapag-aaral.
Hindi po kayo nakapag?
Aral.
Opo.
Kahit po pangalan ko, hirap ko isulat. Tarong po kayo sa mga tao dito. Kaya ako'y ganito lang, magsasaka lang talaga.
Dennis says he usually earns double in farming. But with the high cost of fertilizers and seeds nowadays, he says having some extra income from gold panning is useful. That's why farmers like him are asking for additional aid from the government. Paracale's Municipal Agriculture Office says they will be distributing seeds. However, they admit that they have a limited budget for this. They permit gold panning, but reminds farmers not to use chemicals.
Basta siguraduhin lang po na maibalik sa dating forma yung sakahan para nang sa ganun pakinabangan ng mahabang panahon.
For their part, farmers in Paracale assured that they will not do anything to harm farmlands. But they are hoping that like the gold they're panning, their livelihood as farmers will also shine in the future. Shaila Francisco, we are One News.
The Petro Gazz Angels drew first blood in the PVL Reinforced Conference Finals after beating the Cignal HD Spikers in straight sets. Petro Gazz import Lindsay Vanderwide led the way with a career-high 34 points, including 2 blocks and an ace. Vanderwide scored the last 3 points in an extended third set, where the score almost reached the 40-point mark. With this, the Angels are just 1 win away from repeating as Reinforced Conference champions. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Cignal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.